What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Food Daze. Today, it's another segment of Is It Worth It? Or Is It Food Daze? Today's episode is going to be brought to you by not another cooking show. He made this braised short rib that, I'm not going to lie, it takes forever. There's a shit ton of ingredients. And if you plan on doing this at home, expect to use up like half your day. So you're gonna need wine, salt, pepper, herbs, beef broth, and by the way, I'm using Better Than Bouillon. I'm not sponsored by you yet, but come on guys, I use your stuff. Better Than Bouillon, beef, chicken, and the vegetable stuff. Gotta tell you guys, it's amazing. A spoonful of this goes a long way, not to mention the last 2 years in your refrigerator. It's better than that crap that you put on your shelf. You're gonna need 6 cloves of garlic, which is a shit ton. Onion, a couple celery. Now, I'm not gonna use all these carrots because his were pretty big, but I'm gonna use 2 of these. And yeah, these have already been salted for 24 hours, the boneless short ribs. So I'm gonna use that. And yeah, tomato paste and bay leaves. So guess we gotta start cooking. So I guess we gotta get cooking. So let's hop to it. All right, so here's the point where we're gonna chop up our veggies, and yeah, my cutting board was sliding around, so don't forget to put your towel down. But real easy, just chop up your celery, make sure your garlic is all minced. Kind of should have used a garlic press. Now that I'm looking at all this, it would have made it a lot easier, but we're just giving everything a rough chop. It really doesn't matter because everything's gonna get sauteed and broken down at the end. But what we're doing is a mise en place and having everything in its place. That way we can just put it in our pan. It's ready to roll. And remember, the cuts don't have to be perfect. Just make sure they're small enough to where they can soften in a timely manner. So here we're gonna lay out some twine and our herbs, and we're gonna make a herb bouquet. That way we can just set the herbs in and not worry about getting all the stems and stuff, and kind of measure it out and see how far you need to go, and you're gonna be able to tie it into the end. And now we're just gonna flour our meat. That way we can get a good sear on it. It's gonna create that fond on the bottom of the pan that we can scrape up later and leave flavor, because it almost makes like a broken roux or some kind of weird roux. I'm not sure on the terminology on that. But we're gonna sear our meat now, get a little bit of color on it, just kind of, like I said, build that fond on the bottom of the pan. And we're gonna add our veggies, add a little bit of that garlic paste in there, mix everything together, get it really heated up, kind of make the onions translucent. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. And we're gonna add our cheap wine. Once we've got our veggies translucent, gonna season it, salt and pepper, add a little bit of bay leaves, and we're gonna take that bouquet of herbs, tie it to the end. That way we can just snatch it out right at the end of the cooking process. And we're gonna add our meat back in. And we're gonna make sure everything gets covered by pouring our beef broth. And lo and behold, it was a perfect amount. Check the temperature, make sure we're up to boiling. Close enough, but we're gonna go a little bit higher. So let's throw our lid on, put it on a cookie sheet, set it, forget it, and put it in the oven, and we'll see you in a couple hours. So at this point, it's gonna take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours, and I'm gonna check it regularly. But what Adam did was he kind of made this like rustic style sauce that out of what was left over. I'm gonna use an immersion blender, and I'm gonna show you how it's so much better. It tastes so good. Just because I don't like things really soupy. I like it more like a gravy or almost like a curry, but I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Well, for you guys, it wasn't a couple hours. It was only a couple seconds, but about 4.5 hours, this is what we're left with. And the sauce had reduced and it looked amazing. So you can see how tender it is. I'm trying to pick it up and not drop it, but it just pulls away from the meat. Like, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and take out all of our meat and kind of skim the top of the sauce that we've developed and get rid of all that excess fat. And we're going to leave the veggies in there. So the veggies are going to be a very big essential. Oh, don't forget that bouquet of herbs. We don't need that. And try to get the bay leaves if you can out. They're pretty easy to find, but if you can't, it's not going to hurt you. But you really need to grab it when you can. And don't forget to skim the top of this. Get as much grease as you can out. And here goes our immersion blender. And this makes the most amazing gravy. So we're going to add a little bit of butter to this, just to kind of give it a little bit of body. Put our meat back in so it can just suck up all that flavor. Well, let's plate this thing up, try it out, and tell you what I think. All right, let's test this out. Now look at this. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm literally just pulling this with my fork right off. I mean, look at that, baby. Whoa. That is tender. Oh. Like I said, on another cooking show, he used this to make like a sandwich, and he made it very rustic. But me, I like turning all those veggies into this sauce. And that sauce right there, it's just to die for. This is worth every second. But was it worth it, or is it a Food Daze? 100% worth it. Check out his videos. Link will be in the description below. And remember, don't get caught in Food Daze. See ya.